Hello, and welcome back once again to Strange Hungers. Last we left off, our party has settled in to the Hark's Heart, Heaven's Heart. I don't remember the name of the inn,
The
but they've
Tavern.
definitely
One of these
they've
days.
they've definitely settled in to a tavern on the very edge of the frozen wasteland known as Valkyrie after crossing the Kvekdal Ocean. It is a cold evening. A cold evening passes, and then a chilly morning, but some sunlight can be found as Matthias and Kiara make their way through the woods of Cersei for a short walk. That is mostly where we left off, with our party still sort of gathering their bearings on the beginning of, I think, the 16th day of Neth here. The moon is still strange and whole in the sky, a little earlier than it would be normally expected due to the calendar, but you all have left behind the traditional Jurian calendar now, and find yourself in the near constant cold of Bone Cold here on the continent of Valkyrie. Now, many of you are at the inn, or perhaps gathering your bearings, getting to know this town of Cersei. It is very small. Oh, I'll fix that. It is quite a small town here, mostly for trading. You've seen goods come in and out. You've seen shepherds herding goats and sheep on the edge here. Warm livestock is quite a commodity. So, where are each of you and what are you doing?
Oash is in their room. Neve may or may not be there. She may be my daughter, but I don't always control where she is. But I am going to read the letter. Durr.
Okay. Oish, what letter do you have in your hands, or will you remind us?
Oash has in their hands the first response to the first letter that they sent to Neve's mother after casting Sending in order to get some what's what and getting a pretty bad reaction. So they sent a letter. They did send a second after that, but they think that this is just the first because they sent the second letter very, very recently. So.
Okay. And how does my mic sound? Am I coming through okay, or is my noise still being a bit funky?
It sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Oish, you open this letter, the one that had your name, Sig, on the front of it. The handwriting is somewhat familiar, but you haven't seen it in a very long time. It's curled and feminine, near perfect penmanship, like she's been trained for a long time in the art of it. A few words and a rambling letter is a poor reunion. I have too many words for you and too many years spent trying to write them to you to put my heart on paper once again. You owe me a long conversation and all the explanations I never received. I will believe them only from your face in front of mine, and no magic between them. Magic lies easy. Bring my daughter home and yourself with her, and we will have someplace to begin. I assume the reason I am no longer able to see my daughter with the aid of Asheth is your doing. Your family barred me from your door. You say you never received my letters. You cried my name for years and then no longer. Is this some punishment, then, to seal her off the same way? But you are bold and make assumptions in a way that burns at me. How dare you make accusations about our life and my child and the choices I've made when you've known nothing of them for 40 years? You are a living memory to me, and I have mourned you, and I have waited for you. But I will make any and all decisions about affection and hatred and attraction on my own terms. All of this hurts. Do not be complicit in keeping my family apart. Sig. I am glad to know Neve is safe, but I am no longer familiar with the hands she is in. It is painful and dangerous to correspond with you for many reasons. Return to the harp and I will be there. Otherwise, I have no words to share that I would rather not say in the same room. And it is signed TL.
TL standing for take that L.
Where?
Actually, could I take an insight check from Awash too?
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking insight. Okay, all right. That was a 17 on the die, so that is a insight is 22.
Tyra normally signs her letters when you knew her, especially to you, like little notes that she would leave, just Tyra. So TL does signify either some distance or a particular emphasis on the last name. It's not one she uses often.
Is Neve in this room? Somewhere else?
Neve is within the tavern. She's kind of been mostly staying out of the way, I think, like taking the cue to pay attention to her surroundings, but it would be very easy to call her in from the main room. She's probably just getting a bit of a snack.
Oish takes a moment, as biting as this letter was, the contents of it were not wholly unexpected, except for a few lines that they are specifically poring over. The line, "Your family barred me from your door," is one that they read a few times as if they're unsure of its meaning. But then they shake their head a bit, a problem for later, and call in Neve.
Yes?
There's no chance that you would suddenly, out of nowhere, get the urge to return home, is there?
Do you not want to... I know it's very cold, and the people do seem strange here. So, and I understand the dangers that we're facing, but if you don't want me to travel with you or with your group anymore, it is a little late to say it. I mean,
Would you just... May I try something?
what do you mean?
When was the last time you sent word to your mother?
Not in a while.
I understand that bonds with family can be difficult. So I will not push you one way or the other. But I know that she would appreciate hearing from you. I think she's grown tired of my words.
Drock said it was important for me to stay in touch, but you don't understand all the reasons I had for getting away.
Then help me to understand them.
it feels awkward to complain about my mom to you. I don't want you to not like her. Or be mad at her. It's okay if I'm mad at her, but
I don't think that there are things that you could say that would change the way that I feel towards your mother, whatever those feelings may be. But if you are uncomfortable speaking to me, I can find someone else you could speak to.
that's nice. I don't feel uncomfortable talking to you. I really like talking to you. You're a good listener. But it's just it feels so nice to be able to just do what I want without being told that I might get hurt all the time. And Mom, I don't know, she just always felt so like a peach, like bruisable. And it kind of made me feel the same way, the way she treated me. But since traveling with Jock, I haven't felt like that.
Well, take your time. But your mother cannot see you anymore.
What do you mean? Is this like the warning that you gave me, the people you said were looking for you?
Okay. I suppose I should be a little more forthright with you. Your grandfather is looking for me. Which is why I gave you that necklace.
I know you don't like him, and we've talked about that. And that makes sense if he's mad at you for leaving Mom or something, but I promise I'm not gonna question safety and reasons. I know that I'm here because you think I can be strong and trusted, and I'm excited about that. And I don't wanna fight. But if you say Mom and Granddad can't see me anymore, I know that there are ways to make sure people are safe and okay, so it makes sense that it would be smart to write to her. But it's still, I don't know, it's frustrating that I can't just go somewhere and not have people looking for me.
On your time.
She starts toward you like she's gonna hug you.
Just kind of closes their eyes a little bit.
She gives you a very quick, kind of awkward hug, and then peels back like she thought she did something wrong.
have some messages I am in need of sending.
Do you want me to deliver anything for you?
No. Thank you, Neve.
There is a post here. I saw one.
I may write a letter, but not... The kind of message I am looking to send will not be delivered in that way.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Tazriel then. I don't want him to be grumpy at me. I missed training the other day and slept in.
Right.
Neve scurries off to look for Tazriel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looks back over the letter one more time at that line. And their face reddens a bit. And after a few minutes, they cast sending on... Let's see, they've cast it on their father and their grandmother. No, they cast it on their mother and their grandmother, correct?
I believe so.
They'll cast it on their father this time. That's easier.
Magnus.
Magnus. And the beginning of several sentences start and end over and over in their head without actually casting them. And then finally, all they say is, kind of just like with an expulsion of breath, as if they've already lost a fight with themselves before they even sent this message. The moon has not been in its place. Look out for if the harvest is strange. Send news of how the family is. Sig.
Nice to hear your voice. A strange portent we are watching for. Family misses you. The harvest blooms along with your health and future.
At that last line, just unconsciously, like the magic at their hands has kind of been cracking a bit, and just like a ray of frost accidentally shoots across the wall and like decimates part of it, and they're like, and they have to cast mending on it. And they do. And then they get to writing a letter, and then they'll get everything ready and get ready to go.
Okay. As you are repairing your room, yes, Shan.
I think if I can, after seeing Neve leave, I think in giving it a little bit of time, Bard knocks on Oasia's door.
Yeah. A moment. And then the door opens. Awaish, this is still the same day, so Awaish still looks so good right now.
Oh.
Yes.
Good morning. May I come in just for a minute?
I'm getting ready to leave, but fine.
Just a little bit of privacy, if that's okay. Just kind of like eyebrows up, like.
The door is yours to close.
Oh, okay, thank you. Tucks it behind them. She does kind of like pull at her collar a bit and just like, do you mind if I just does the gesture of Is that a yes? Okay.
Just kind of inclines their head a bit.
Breathes out and shrinks down to Novel, who stretches and just I've been that shit for so long. Ugh. Oh, better. Actually, this is probably perfect. I know you wanted to speak with me to Neve about this. I was wondering when. Only because we are going to be going to Wilds, and you know, perhaps it is better that she knows sooner rather than later. But I, of course, defer to you. I just thought it would be good to talk about.
Nia is training with Tasriel currently. When she is finished, perhaps that is the correct time.
Okay. Cool. Also, one more thing. Two more things. Sorry. I feel like I am bundling all my talks today. I've also talked to Taz. That's been a morning. But one, do I still have that question from the boat? Wait, I don't have to ask now. I just want to check that it is still something I can have.
Is that your question?
No. Novel can't grin. It's just not how their face is built. But you can see their eyes squinting up with their cheeks. Like they have learned how to smile for other people. Like, and they are just like smiling at you. Just like, no, that is not my question.
If you have one, you may ask it.
Perhaps another day, when the day is not so full of already so many things.
We might be dead if you wait any longer.
I mean, we could be dead already, you know. The universe is strange and unknowable. I would take that as a yes, for now. You can change your mind. Certainly, I just thought you'd be very interested because magic. But pulling the sword out with an ease that is just like as easy as Barden does, despite Novel's 5-foot height, just like just. So, the moon woke my sword up. They are sentient. She is sentient. As far as I can tell, she doesn't have a name, but I thought you might be interested. This could maybe be something we talk about during our magic lessons. I do not know.
In Oaish's head, they go, down, boy. But kind of appraises it a bit and says, did you do that?
Yes. My Baba, he sent me a letter. He was doing some research and I fed it moonlight. Her moonlight, sorry. And it woke her up. She's quite nice. She has a very nice voice. She also believes that I am feverfew, which perhaps is not perfect. I've tried to tell her. I promise.
Object.
I am. Yes, I believe so. Like, I have done research on it before coming out here. I know it is of dwarven make. I know it is a northern style. I could not find the actual creator, but I know some things.
Oish holds out their hand and says, do you mind just for a moment?
Noel takes a second and just speaks out to Titan's Raffle. Do you mind if Oish holds you for a second?
I can be held by many, but I remain yours, sire.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Just like talking to a sword, no one else is hearing the back and forth.
You would not allow darkness to blacken my blade, though.
Of course. You will be fine. You will be fine, okay? I promise.
Let me
Just
touch
see
that
that-
sword.
Okay. Hands it over, like, with the most gravitas that a changeling and not a creature can provide. Just like, be careful with her, okay? She is heavy.
Now. Oash.
Uh-oh, what's up?
What? Whoa.
As I have stated previously, faction alignments in the world of Neum alignments in the world of Neum are more related to factions that you are a part of rather than your character's moral inclinations.
Yeah, this sword
It's
ain't
very
gonna like
easy
me.
to be part of a good or an evil group versus what you have in your heart. I genuinely want to know, since you have also gained some renown with Siren's group, if you feel like Oash currently has more loyalty towards the Dulcimers or the Poet Lovers. I know that's a tough question.
Jesus, on a Saturday morning? Currently, I think this is a thing that is in flux a lot these days,
Yes,
but they
yes.
just got off a ship with very dear friends to them. And I think they are feeling more loyal towards their original group at this time than to the Poet Lovers.
All right. You take this sword into your hands, and I don't think have you gotten a close look at it before? Like, really been able to examine it? Okay.
No.
Give me, this could be investigation or history, but you make it with disadvantage.
Sure. Makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure they're the same, but I will do history. Yeah, I'll do history. That sucks. Do I have inspiration? I'm going to use my inspiration to take away disadvantage because I
Okay.
just rolled a natural 20.
Whoa!
I will allow it. All right. So, what is the total on that then? The natural
28.
20. 28. Fantastic. This is a very obscure bit of knowledge. This is the kind of knowledge that someone even from the country of Skyhome wouldn't necessarily put together. But you are a researcher, and you've also taken a look at Barden's book, and also just talked to Barden. So you have perhaps a little bit more interest in some of these knowledges. So you don't know necessarily, like, you don't say, okay, this is a historical sword that I'm familiar with and I know all the stories of. But you can tell, considering you are someone who was raised with an eye for valuable materials, I would say that this is definitely of a historical dwarven make. This is what many would call sort of a legendary item in its crafting and in its quality. From the style of the blade, you can definitively place it made in Skyhome, likely Upper Skyhome. Perhaps just some item that's passed over a desk at some point that you might have examined or traded with or heard about. So you are certain that it is quite old. Hundreds, maybe even 1,000 years old for the state that it's in. You also, taking a close look at this and with a natural 20 on your history check, recognize that this is likely not the state this blade was in originally. There is a difference in quality between the parts of the metal where it begins sort of silver at the hilt and then goes up into this very sort of burnished gold bronze color towards the tip. So this sword has been changed in some way. The carvings upon it, you also recognize as these sort of two wolves' head. There are smaller details within the blade. You see the pommel with this moon shape that also ties into some of your knowledge of omens, superstitions, portents, phases, things like that, which means that this sword likely does have magical properties that are specifically tied to phases of the moons, which is interesting. You also know that in that case, it's likely that there might be possibly a religious element to this sword or the crafting of it, meaning that some maybe god or worshiper of a god, possibly, I think Lydir would be the closest assumption you would make, was like related to the construction of this sword, if Lydir was worshipped in the same form 1,000 years ago.
Mm.
You don't hear a voice speak to you when you hold it, though.
Right. Awish takes the sword. Novel, you see as they kind of run a finger down the etchings in the blade itself. And then after probably a minute just of really focusing and concentrating, they say, you know, in poetry, Titan and its light is often referred to as silvered light.
That's something I know?
It's a strange allusion to poetry, but you are very familiar with what that allusion might make. You also are definitely familiar having read about the blade and its stories. You've heard that phrase before.
It's definitely acted like silver. I
Oh,
have
there's
had
silver on the blade as well, but it's very old. Hands it back.
Novel looks happier for having it back. There is just like, I think Novel isn't hovering, but their hands are just like, and just gently rubbing it, like grazing a hand down it as if soothing her before sliding back on their back. Just like,
Don't worry, I have no preference towards those kinds of things when it comes to violence.
no, you're very powerful without. I know this. I just, I know my father found it in the tomb loft. Saved
There
it
are
for
many
me.
rooms where things can be found in that place.
That is true. But did you spy anything new? Anything I did not know?
You know it's of dwarven make.
Hmm.
You know that it's old.
Yes. I know that she has slept for a long time.
Right. And that she's from Skyhold.
This also does make it.
Mhm.
Sorry. This also does make it likely, if the blade thinks that Barden is feverfew, that Barden Novel's conviction that feverfew was a real person. This all but confirms it.
I don't think Oasia's too surprised by that. Legend stories, they all blend together in the world. But they just say, many hands have held that blade before yours, and not always to wield it in violence.
I'm not sure
It has been built twice,
Twice?
at least.
She did not say she remembered of our hands. No, sorry. Feverfew, she says, was the last to hold her.
Well, maybe she made her, maybe someone else did, but I doubt something lies dormant for that long.
You would hope not. I think that would drive you insane. To some sort of madness. I hope she was okay. Pats the pommel. Thank you. Are you doing okay this morning?
What sort of a question is that?
A polite one? And genuine?
How would you like me to refer to you?
As me?
You have two names now. Which one do you prefer?
It is probably better that I actually have more than that. But depending on the form, just so others do not suspect. But like this, just I'm novel. I'm the one that contains the stories.
It feels quite strange to refer to you in such a familiar name when you don't refer to me as mine. But I will do so.
Do I tweak to that?
You can.
Yeah. And what name would you prefer for me to call you?
Oish.
Okay, Oish. Did I not call you Oish?
There is another name that I reserve for my friends and those I am familiar. I do not mean to offend you.
I mean, that is fine. You choose your name. If you are asking anyone, I mean, I would understand. If you want to be a wish, you are a wish.
Keep that sword well polished. We'll need it.
Sorry, my finger. Of course, of course I will. Yeah, you. I will keep Galach very safe. I have promised her, after all. And starts to head towards the door. Oh,
One thing you do
shifts.
know, novel.
Shifts before they go to the door.
One thing you do know, novel. You've taken very good care of your sword, but it has never truly needed polishing.
Still likes to do it. It's a good habit.
Okay.
Yeah, shifts back at the bar and just gives away a proper smile before. Seen a bit? Heads up.
Hazriel, what are you up to?
So I think so his plans, the early morning plans got disrupted. So I think he's still back in his room.
Yes.
And I think if Alex will allow me to make a perception check to see if I notice Neve coming, like someone coming towards my door, or if I know it's Neve.
Yes. Let's see. Actually, tell me what your passive perception is.
My passive perception, that's not great. It's 13.
Okay. Fine. She's not traveling stealthily, so since your passive perception, you're not actively like listening for anyone necessarily. You do hear someone coming towards your door, but you're not sure if it's Neve. You just know that someone is walking up to your door.
Okay. All right. So then I think just at this moment, he's back in his room and he's trying to write in his journal that he uses to write to Vel and is just staring at it. It's just like, or he's been writing in it and he's like scratched like bits of it off trying to explain, like, Jesus, my mom's involved in this now, like just trying to like put pen to paper with the fucking situation that just happened.
Yeah.
But it's just not able to like get it down.
You hear a knock at your door.
I'm just gonna get up and open it.
Hi, Tazaril. I'm so sorry. I slept in late.
Hi, Neve.
Neve is wearing the longer skirts that she usually wears, but they're kind of like, she has those very wide bottom, like kind of not bell bottom pants, but like kind of flowing pants that are tucked into boots. Not the apple bottom jeans, no. More like very
read
loose
my
kind
lips.
of billowing pants that are tucked very firmly into these leather boots. And she's got kind of a pack satchel that's strapped over, and she has her 2 knives that she usually uses. They are in leather belts at her side. Looks like she's also brought with her. She's kind of like taken a strap and attached it to the coat that Matthias got her, so she can like hold that over her shoulder. And she's got the scarf that Novel gave her on.
Yes, well, I won't judge you too hard for it. I've had my own nights of being late to training, but are you ready? We can get started.
Yeah, we can do that. I want to make sure that I'm ready to go when we're heading out. I'm really excited, but if you promise to not go too hard on me, since we might be traveling today, I'm ready.
I think like just like some in Taz's head, because he's literally thinking, okay, let's see how well these early morning trainings have been doing, and was just about to be like, hey, feel free, walk out, and then quick like try to do a disarming maneuver, see if they can make the dex check about it, and is and is contemplating. I will say I will not go too hard on you after this, and is going to like try like a sweeping maneuver to see if Neve is currently on her guard while we're about to get into this. Not like a super high one or anything, like not what he did the first time they started fighting and because my level, but something like, we've been training for a little while on this boat at this point, thinking, okay, at this point, she should be able to do this.
Could you give me an initiative check?
Yeah. 23.
That is a 17 for her. You definitely catch her off guard. So you are able to kind of sweep her a little bit. She doesn't fall over, but she does stumble back awkwardly to avoid you. And all right, I feel like the only reason that I am getting better at avoiding those is just because I'm now anticipating that you're going to do that.
I want you to anticipate anybody might do that. I don't want you to be tense all the time, but I want you to be thinking about what could happen.
Actually, that kind of, I feel like Matthias and Oash are tense all the time, and maybe that's why they're kind of always. You feel like Neve is like internalizing something.
Do I know what it is? Can I get
She's just like she squares her face into more of a neutral expression.
Oh God. Listen. the two of them have kept themselves alive very well up until this point. So learning something from them isn't bad, but and if you can keep a secret, I do think maybe they could relax a little bit. I've kept myself alive very well too, and I'm not quite as tense as our companions here, and that level of tense can get really stressful and make life harder, even if it keeps you alive.
Okay. All right. If you say so. I get what you mean, though. Yeah, I'm ready if you want to go out. I'm not sure. Maybe we can just go over to where some of the animals are and bar a little bit. It's kind of cold outside, but I don't know if there's room here.
How big is this room?
It's not a high quality tavern by any means. You've got room for a bed and a little desk.
Okay, yeah, he'll say, yeah, we can do that. And like I said, I promise I won't go too hard on you now. Let's go.
Okay. You spend some time in training with Neve. I'm going to say that Neve is going to level up with your next level up. So Neve will gain a class level with the next level up the party takes.
Yeah. Thank God. Let's buff up those hit points, baby.
Oish also has several schemes for things to do once we get to the order, so.
Good. Very good, yes. Okay. Well, fantastic. You two spend time in training. Kiara and Matthias, are you returning from your walk?
I think maybe our walk was happening while all that was happening.
Yeah.
Makes
I
sense.
was like, otherwise we're just like, I don't know, out in the snow making out or something. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No.
Do you have to be?
You'll know when those
Listen,
two kiss. It'll
it's
cause
been
a reaction.
45 episodes. You'll have to wait for 45 more.
Let's fucking do it.
Good.
Okay. All right. Let's do things. Let's go. Let's do things.
All right.
We come
Well,
back.
in that case, Matthias, are you gathering anything else from the town of Cersei before you setting out? You've kind of mapped out a route passing along the coast, possibly by the Serpent. Is that correct?
Yes.
We should probably restock on food, right?
Yeah, just to make sure we're all good on inventory. I think Matthias will get everyone together and be like, okay, everybody look through your bags, double check. Do we have everything that we need? Do you have your toiletries? Do you have your socks, extra socks, underwear?
Important question.
Yes.
Matthias.
Yes.
How much tea do you have left?
He doesn't have any. He
You don't
hasn't
have any?
had-
Okay.
He
We
hasn't
should get
had
regular
any...
tea.
That is true. Oh, you meant regular tea. Yes, I have a little bit, but I can have more.
Yes. Let's get some chai and yeah.
Hell yes. Okay. Got a warm fur tent. We got water skins. I have torches. I have 8 days of rations, I believe.
Okay. I'm going to assume, because it makes sense, you did have food on the boat, you had paid for all of that, you've been restocking, so your rations are still fresh.
Great.
But if you want to bring any kind of waste-specific resources with you, as in things that, like certain kinds of food or things that Matthias and Vice would know to bring, you can give me an investigation check to see if you can find anything worthwhile in this small town. This can also be a group investigation check, or just one of you can make it.
Sure. I think Matthias would be interested in seeing if they have anything cool. Rolled in.
You can guide us.
I will guide you.
Same.
This is investigation?
Yes.
Guidance is a D4, right?
Yes, it's a D4.
I actually rolled really well for this.
It's related to the wastes.
17.
Okay.
I got a 2 on the guidance, and I have a -2 modifier, so there you go. Thank you, Jesus.
I think you mean Bane.
Thank you, Bane. Sorry. Alex, did you ask me something extra? I forgot.
No, I said what did VJ get?
That's
25.
cool. Anything is possible.
25. Excellent.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So, no, I mean, Matthias, you can give, you can say
no,
what
no,
thing
no,
would be...
no. It's fine.
Taz
No,
went off in
it's
the
fine.
opposite direction, so you found something cool, and he found something cool.
Yes.
Yes.
No reason to pit two bad bitches against each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is.
That's true.
Unless
see
it's
it.
for my affection, in which case.
Exactly.
I'm
Unless
kidding.
it's hot. Wait.
I'm
I'm okay with
kidding. We don't believe in monogamy in this house.
That is so true. Not in this game. Not in this D&D game. The two of you are able to confer briefly, saying, you're getting items ready that you're setting off soon. And you take off different directions looking around. Matthias, you are well-versed in traveling across Valkyrie. There are some areas where the snow gets quite perilous, is interrupted with many spears of black rock or these sort of snow sinkholes where it'll appear to be perfectly normal, but you step into them and then you just sink down 15 feet, something like that.
Mhm.
Snow that hides gorges, caverns, etc. While you are on the main sort of ground continent of Valkyrie, so where there are mountains and things like that, that is less likely, which means that it is a bit safer to travel by a large bobsled, almost like a sledge of some kind. And by chance, you find that a merchant who is is selling off a lot of stock and is leaving Valkyrie to travel to the main continent of Senelji. And therefore, you are able to, he will sell you his large travel sled.
Yes. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. How much? How much?
It is quite exorbitant. Give me a straight charisma check to see if you're able to. You can use advantage on this charisma check as well because it relates to your background feature.
Yes. Hell yes.
Yeah, Matthias is the cursed waste Santa.
Bitch. That's a natural 20, 23. Yes.
He's in the waste.
I'm in the waste.
He looks you over and he actually says, "Listen, I really need to get rid of this because there's no way I'm able to take it on the ship with me. And no one is traveling right now. Supposedly there's a storm coming in maybe a few days. And obviously there's a storm every few days. But it's hard to convince travelers. So if you will take it off my hands for maybe 10 gold."
I would be happy to take it off your hands, and
Just try and keep it in nice condition. Like this
I will
thing
be
has
taking
traveled
very, very good care of this. I promise. I know how valuable this is. Take 15.
He gives you a smile in the way that, sort of a gruff, bearded man gives you from underneath his beard, and he says, "And be careful. There's not a lot of room for generosity here. I appreciate it, but keep what resources you need to survive." It's advice you've heard before.
I hope you enjoy the warmer weather.
Certainly hope so. But there's a cold that never really leaves your bones after living here. And then he takes the 15 gold from you, if you mark that off, and gives you a sled. Matthias. Actually, not Matthias, but Sloan. What is written on the side of this sled?
Oh my god. What's written on the side of the sled?
Yeah.
Shit, fuck, shit.
You can think about it, and I can say what Tazrael finds if you want.
Please do that. Please do that.
Okay.
I'm not calling it Rosebud. Fuck y'all.
You could just say shit, fuck, shit.
Shit, fuck, shit.
Tazriel, you wander over to some of the livestock pens that are here. You see a variety of these sort of furry goats with curved, these sort of arc antlers, these arcums that Matthias and Kiara had seen in the woods previously that you did not recognize. It seems like the butcher here has recently has a few new stocks of dried meats, so you're able to gather some like high quality meat that will last you a while if you want. So what I'll say is that will be 10 rations if you want, like 10 rations worth of dried meat if you would like.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that.
But you also note that there are two particular thick and broad billy goats that it seems like are for sale. The butcher says something about how they're terrorizing the other female goats, and he has like roped them in from the forest. They're not particularly well suited to keeping in pens, but the population has been growing out of control recently, and so if you'll take these billy goats, he will sell them to you.
What does Taz think they'd be useful out there? Like, what in particular?
You think they're big enough to ride on? Like these are
Oh,
they're not your typical like they are big. They are made like
mounts.
they're mounts. They're close to horse size. Yeah. They wouldn't have the training like a horse would for a mount, but they could definitely carry like you think you could ride on one even with your size. These are buff animals.
How much for these two?
For the two of them, it's going to be 20 gold.
And to be clear, does he like tell Taz about like them terrorizing the like? Is he sharing that information, or are you just giving that to them?
A bit of a story. In that he says don't put them near any other female goats, and they'll go a bit. They might go a bit crazy. But besides that,
how much training do you think they would need to ride as proper mounts?
if you are an animal husbander, I don't know. I don't train them myself. I just cook them. Cook and keep them.
I think Taz thinks from in his head, it's like worst case scenario, we keep them and kill them if we need the food. What did they eat? Do I need to get that from you as well? Can they feed themselves?
You can buy some feed, yes, but they are quite good at foraging. So any kind of berry, bush, needle.
All right. Yeah, Taz will cough over the 20 gold for them and the whatever cost it is for the 10 rations.
Okay. They can also be the leather from their hides, and they actually you can use some small amount of wool for weaving if you were to use that. And again, here's the little picture of them.
Look at those horny goats.
Aww.
You think their horns would likely cause some damage if they got angry.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I think the last thing Taz will do is say, do they have names?
Mother and
Mostly
fucker.
I was calling them nuisance 1 and 2.
All right. Is the total for how much is it for the rations too, Alex?
If you give me 25 gold, you can get the rations, some feed, and the goats.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give you 25 gold.
And this is from actually I should give a little shout out. I picked up a fun little zine called Ashweld from Feral Indie Studio at PAX Unplugged. I think his name is Charles. His name is Charles. Makes some really cool little like zines and things, and this one is themed around like snow and cold, but also heat. So I've been using this for some neat inspiration.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, all right, thank you. And I think the whole time, Taz has these rations and these two guys, and it's just thinking, what am I gonna call them? What are they gonna be named?
And then as Matthias is, you have to like, you know what, Matthias, give me a strength check. Athletics. Give me
I
athletics
would
check.
love to do that.
If I'm still there, I'm guiding you
Cock as
again.
fuck. Okay.
Sure,
okay.
Kiara, you could have definitely been helping.
Kiara has
Maria.
nothing else to do. She's just following with us around.
Athletics.
Good.
Oh my god. It's absurd. 27.
Hey, Matthias, you've never been hotter than you are in the wastes.
Matthias, you are a brick wall of a man. You get the, like, straps of this sledge, and you begin to pull it through the snow towards the
God.
tavern.
Ugh, I'm so hot. And the name on the side, for the record, is Updraft.
Updraft.
I
Very cool.
also,
Someone write that down.
Before we move on, I was on thesaurus.com to find some like good words that I could potentially use for this. And the third thing down on this site is a little box. It says quiz, the Resuscifers. How many of these slang trends do you know? And this is a quiz that I can take on thesaurus.com.
Amazing.
Wow.
Since you are slaying this so hard, Kiara's gonna get on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a workout. It's definitely a workout, but you like have dragged boulders around to get a workout before, so
We are all collectively only sad that I cannot see his back muscles under all his clothing. The fucking shame.
Yeah.
Do I get an identity point for whatever it was for slaying in the waste?
Sure. I'll give you an identity.
You get an identity point for being a hot guy?
For being a fucking strong bitch. A
You get
strong
an
bitch.
point
Owls.
you specifically get one because you are doing a good job as a leader in the waste.
Yes, I'm doing a good job. I'm fucking pulling my weight.
Look at you leading.
You get a good boy point.
Look at you leading this little sleigh, carrying your princess around.
You guys are keeping track of those, right? The identity
Are
marks.
just doing
I am now.
a Durian wave.
I don't think
goes.
I don't think I've gotten any, so I'm safe for now.
I don't think I have any.
I'm not.
I
haven't given out a lot of them. They're a new thing. The
Kiara doesn't
identity
have an
saves in the
identity
identity.
yet.
Oh, God.
She's still trying to figure it out, okay?
Sorry,
Hello.
Alex, question. Is that like particularly different from like inspiration from you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Bar.
He does laugh when Kiara gets onto the sled, but he will continue pulling. It's fun.
She
So cute.
she would be like, she would say, Matthias, you're doing that too easily, and it's making me feel bad. Hold on. Hold on.
It's kind of like sometimes it's like a little what's the word? It's affirming when you get to like show off and be buff in front of other people. Sometimes it's an affirmative thing.
It is
And for
very
him,
affirming.
It is affirming right now. Having a good time. But it'll take it back to Taz, who has these goats, and I think this is kind of like a perfect situation because we need shit to pull this thing.
Vice sees you pulling the sled up. She is smoking outside of the tavern and takes the, cigarette and sort of snuffs it under her boot and says, "You look like a pack animal."
Well, hopefully not that bad.
Conduct yourself with some dignity, Valerian.
No, I would say that was incredibly dignified and powerful.
She is smiling at you.
conduct myself with dignity when we are not constantly under threat of death.
Dignity is
Oh,
important.
this is why you have acted this way throughout your time living in Valkyrie.
I have to be alive to be dignified first.
Yes, well, it seems like you do not have a problem with that. Staying alive, I mean. Okay,
Where's
yes,
Tazriel?
Taz. Will you give me an animal handling check, Tazriel?
Do you
For
know the
Matthias.
last animal handling check that I made was that -7 or whatever the fuck it was?
Oh!
That was the last time I made an animal handling check.
How did you get a -7?
I was fractured, and so I rolled poorly,
yeah.
and then I had to roll further. It was so
Fracturing
bad.
fun.
I think still our lowest roll ever, right?
Yes,
So
yes. Okay, that is not bad. I don't
Right.
have any bonuses to wisdom. However, that is 13.
The DC was 12.
Those fuckers would have headbutted me, wouldn't they, Alex?
They're grumpy goats. You manage using a little bit of the feed to coax the two goats. I don't know if you've moved animals in Minecraft, right? Where you have to like lead them right up close with the food, like walking backwards. But you do manage to get them towards the inn as well, only to see Matthias pulling a sled.
Tell me you just bought those.
No, I stole them. Yeah.
Well, regardless, they're in our
Yes.
possession, is what I meant.
Oh, yes, they are. They are ours. Baro and Yaru.
Baro and
How do you spell those?
Baro
Oh,
Yaru.
I fully thought you just said bro. I think
I also
bro.
thought
Yaru and Bro!
Bro.
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 So Baro, and what was Yaro?
RU.
Yaru. All right, I've written it down in our session recap, so we have it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I
All right.
happen to have just gotten the sled, and I think that those are going to be very helpful.
that is perfect. Also, I was told not to let them near any female goats or they'll go a bit mad.
Wait.
Fair enough.
Is that being cruel to them though?
I think they've been harassing them.
Oh, bad
Yeah.
goats. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Not
Yeah.
allowed to fuck. Animal cruelty.
I know. That's where Kiara's like, what the fuck?
They'll figure it out.
The copulation is entirely natural. Thank you.
Agreed.
I think this species is a bit territorial.
Oh.
So we'll just have to be careful, but otherwise, yeah, they should be good. And worst case scenario, I did buy more rations, but again, worst case scenario, something happens out in the
Perfect.
waste, we can, and Taz will like whisper, or actually he'll just do this. He doesn't want to hear him say, we can just kill him.
Kiara
Goats
does
sort of-
Roll a
this.
perception and intelligence check.
No, Kiara makes this face.
Kiara is a
Kiara.
vegetarian. We're gonna have to find ways of, finding food.
There's not a lot that grows here.
I know. We'll figure
But
it out.
There are
But-
things that people eat. There's often fowl, like you're able to find roots and things because birds will like fly from different
Makes
nests.
sense.
So
Well, that's the thing. The things that you're thinking of eating have to eat something.
exactly.
Also, Kiara has purified food and water. Can that make food sources not be meat?
You know what? I think that's
I'm
hilarious.
purging you of carnivorous urges.
I think
I'm
you
just
can
wondering if-
can beyond
do, like-
a burger.
This is like
purify
fucking like
food and
when they
water and do
take
like
they take all the meat cells out of the meat and then they replace
Yeah.
them with vegetable cells. Like that's what you're doing. You're
Is this
fucking-
Okay, what were you?
is this
Finn, what
making
were you
it
saying?
halal?
Yeah.
Listen. All we're doing is increasing the
Perfect.
fiber content and making it better for our digestive systems, okay?
It turns meat into tofu.
Making
All
it
that
rough.
protein after a while is going to fuck you up.
Yes. Now, expedition party, you gather together your things.
Ooh.
Let's do a hot. Yes, Jenny.
I think we wanted to quickly introduce Neve to the other member of our party.
Yes, we will
Okay.
definitely do that. We're gonna
Gotcha.
have a
No worries,
a
just
break.
checking. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we're gonna take a nice 10-minute break, I think. Get a little snack, use the bathroom, and then we will be back as we introduce
piss.
the novel to Neve, and also hopefully set off into the waste.
Let's
Yes.
get the fuck out of here. Goodbye.
Cool. Peace.
Oh, which one?
Hello. Hello and welcome back to Strange Hungers. Now, Pooja is eating. I was going to ask Pooja if you had anything that Kiara wanted to do, since you hadn't had a scene yet before we set off, or should we go to Novel and Neve? Cool. Okay, perfect. All right. So then, as you are all gathering your goods and whatever supplies you might have, you do still have your horse with you, which you can lead behind the two goats, or it doesn't seem like they'll maybe get along side to side, but one of you can also ride on this horse, at least for the time being. He's not as adapted to the snow, but those sky skimmer horses do have that strange a bit, like their hooves are kind of suited to walking on top of the water. They don't have the same salt quality, but he will do just fine on the snow, at least for the time being. Yeah, so one of you can ride on the horse, and then whoever wants to can ride in the sled. Someone can even ride on one of the goats if they would like to, but you have by far enough to carry all of you. I think maybe even Neve or Vice can kind of scoot around. So, as you are loading goods on, Vice is helping with this, making sure that you still have all the supplies you need, your tents, your just like extra blankets. Vice has also gone and gotten some fire supplies for all of you, just with some of her own gold, since she's been kind of eating off of your dime when you guys have gotten tavern rooms and stuff. She's gotten some firewood. So she's doing that, and you all can make your final preparations as you would like.
I think we're good. I think it's just Barden and Oash.
Get in my room.
Oh.
Yeah, as everything starts to wrap up, Barden will I think Neve gets sent to Barden, just very confused, like, Wish sent me to get you, kind of thing.
Hi. I think Seg wants you for something.
Oh, okay. I think it's both of us. After you.
Okay.
Just like, I hope that scarf's keeping you warm.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome to borrow it, as long as you need. Actually, my great-grandma made that.
What's her name?
Well, I just call her Besta Mama. Because that's, Aranabara, that's the words. I actually don't know her name. She's like ancient. I think it's rude to know her name. My dad used to say that her names were carved in the mountains. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's nice. I like that.
You should see her horns. They're giant. Just like doing like a big motion of like big curled horns as they go into this room.
Up to her little. She's got the little horns that are still growing slightly.
I bet if you try hard enough, you could get it. Yeah.
I guess it depends on how much they grow, but I'm perfectly happy with the size of my horns as they are.
I think they're lovely. After you, let's let's get this on with.
Wish.
Right. Neve. Barden has something very important to show you. And it is important that you keep an open mind, but maybe keep your initial thoughts for when you can take a second pass at them before they leave your list.
Okay. Is I don't really know what to expect, but sure.
No worries. Everything's going to be fine. That makes it sound worse. I just heard that. But you might want to sit down. I'm just gonna
Neve
close the door.
sits on the bed.
Okay. Like Wish said, open mind.
Also, maybe words before a display. Barden, I know that there was a bit of...
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, last time. Hey, Neve. So,
Hey,
some
Caitlin.
folks use some folks use disguised selves to get on and get on with life. I don't know if you're blurry. Why are you blurry? Come back
You
to
know,
us.
it just happens.
There,
Okay,
there he is. But yeah, some people will just hide some parts of themselves to get on, and so people don't be scared. Basically, you understand that.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, this is my first roll today. Hello, persuasion. I love that I have a +5. Makes me happy. Ooh.
You are so persuasive.
I can also
Aw,
help.
such a
I'll reach over
shame.
and I'll
That was
reach
a
over and
10.
like I'll reach over and hold Neve's hand kind of like as a reassurance. If that gives a
You
help
can have
action.
advantage.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Okay.
think this isn't changelings do have advantage on charisma checks
Oh.
related to hiding their identity, so
I
that
believe it's
wouldn't really apply.
deception based on their hiding.
Mm.
But should I roll again anyway?
Yes, take advantage.
Okay. Come on, be nice. Oh, okay. That's a bit better. That's an 11. Fuck's sake. 10 to an 11. Like.
Neve is gripping your hand like she's a bit frightened.
Oh no.
Like the
Oh.
way she's hand, like she's a bit frightened.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing to be scared of. Okay. Have you heard about changelings?
She immediately relaxes. Maybe the
Oh.
hiding parts of herself thing made her
Which?
assume something different.
Okay. Okay, you've heard of them.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Well, if you hadn't met one before, shifts down. Big eyes, pale skin, long arms, tail swifting out. Then you have met one now. Hello. My name is Novel. I'm sorry to have kept myself from you for so long, but I wanted to make sure you were comfortable with Oish. And hello.
The immediate reaction is definitely discomforted. You are strange and you are not like something she's seen before, and it takes a moment where she is staring. And then her expression kind of shifts to curious. She stands up from the bed. No, I haven't met a changeling before, but I... Are you a friend of the one that walks in shadows?
Do I know what that means?
Both Awaish and Novel can give me a religion check.
Yeah.
Oh no, not religion. I
Oh my
technically do have
god,
to make it
you
religion.
bastard. It went from a 19 to a 3. I saw it fucking go. It's tempting. I have inspiration. I kind of want to know. I think I'm going to use an inspiration to find out because I'm curious.
Okay.
1 second. What was that? Religion?
Religion.
Could it not be history? It's okay. I got it. Oh my god.
I rolled a 12 for a 17.
That
Okay.
was a nat 1, baby. I'm
Ah.
fucking clear.
You know what? It's fine. It makes a lot of sense that Novel would not know this.
Yeah,
But
okay, no
Awaish, knowing a little bit already and with some of your suspicions related to Neve, this is a nickname for Merlin, who is the goddess of trickery. Well, not really trickery, more deception, spies, betrayal.
Isn't
don't
that the
think
goddess
that's-
whose like icon we saw around the temple? Like on the
Ooh.
body that was hanging from the
Yes.
thing? Bitch.
Yes, in fact. I don't think
This is
that
not a god whose worship is usually permitted in
It's
Abjor.
not
Oh, I
The
wonder
Corellian
why.
Coast has more lax rules related to religious doctrine, but yeah.
My daughter's a little bit evil.
Oh my god.
But Awaish says, I don't think, unless I am incorrect, that novel here is particularly religious.
No, not really. In Aranabara, we have our own personal gods, but I never chose one.
Oh.
And
I
Siren.
only ask. I don't think I've met a siren. That's one of
Oh,
your friends?
no, that is just a name. Not a. As far as I know, he is not. No. He is just strange.
I no, I've never met someone like you, but I've heard that there are some who are gifted with the ability to change their form.
Do you know anyone? Well, I can change my form from different faces, though I would never take yours without permission. I promise you. So I hope you are not afraid of that.
Your mouth moves in a way that's very strange.
Would you like to see?
Okay.
Like flicking an eye to Awaish to see what their response is here.
Awaish
just
is trained on Neve as if they are trying to anticipate if something is going to happen, so they could care less what you're doing.
Novel just very slowly opens. So the trisected mouth, so 1, 2, 3 pieces. And then also from the inside, mandibles pull out.
Have you ever seen a snake yawn? This is what it looks like.
It does look like a snake yawning.
But
You
jaw splits in half. The bottom jaw splits, right?
yeah, it
Well,
splits.
the snakes have like 2 different jaws on their lower, so they
Yeah.
don't specifically
They
split
kind
in
of
half,
go
but they'll go instead of
Mm.
like coming all down together. It's very
Yes.
cute and a little creepy.
You open your mouth and there is another moment where Neve like swallows very deeply. Are you a wild walker?
I've heard this phrase before, right?
Yes, this is another word someone would use to call something a monster in this world.
Is it a nice word for someone being a monster?
I would
Is
say
it one of the
it's,
nicer?
it's one of the nicer words. It's you might say like there are wild walkers prowling through the forest in a way to say like be careful of danger, but you wouldn't say like you're such a wild walker. It's a very specific like category, not term.
I suppose some would call me that. But I do not see myself as that.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I'm actually really interested in shape changing. It's more inherent to a changeling, right? Not like you said, not like a magic.
I've always been able to. If you would allow me to show you, I could take your shape for a second to show you. Only if you would
No.
like. No problem.
No, thank you.
Okay, no worries. But yes, it is inherent.
That seems. And then she kind of actually looks over at Awaish for the first time. That seems pretty useful.
Quite.
Well, thankfully I've not been around people that see it as a use. It has been for my use.
That
Which is
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah.
how do you make sure your clothes fit?
See, this is no one has asked me this yet, and basically starts like, so you see all these buckles, so I can basically arrange them so they fit, and shifts into the form of Kasha, who is about 6 foot wide dude. He is a big Genasi bear, like. So yeah, you gotta
He's
unbuckle
chunky.
everything. Yeah, he's a big boy. He has a big tummy. He is a big dude. He's thick. Like flowing Genasi hair, water Genasi. I'm fucking Vic in the corner. But yeah, just like he's like, yeah, you gotta make sure you have buckles on these things, otherwise nothing fits. It's you know everything
like,
goes inside
very
out as well.
Thin, scrawny form of Novel balloons outward, and you see the clothes just kind of swell and bulge around, and then the buckles sort of like slide so the sleeves fit, definitely leaving the chest exposed.
Sorry. But yeah, everything has to shift, otherwise it don't work. And it's always good for a bit of a winks at a wish, bit of a quick change, you know, and then shifts back down into Novel.
For the first time, a wish fully doesn't get something, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I love that. You'll know it is very good if I am cornered and people are expecting to see something in a black coat, I can just and turns inside out. You'll know mustard. No one expects it.
Really neat, actually. I haven't seen clothes like that.
I mean, I could direct you to my tailor. It is in Skyhome, but it is very good work.
I'm kind of happy with the coat that the Valerian got me. I really like it.
It is very cozy. You will need it. It is gold.
Okay.
I will.
Do you want to put the other?
Barton can return. Yes. 1 second. And just.
I'll get used to it. I promise. I'm guessing this is a secret.
It's very much a secret, but I
can
thought
keep
you
secrets,
should know.
Don't worry.
I thought.
Thanks.
I thought you should know. You are one of the team. Okay.
That does seem to strike another chord, and Neve seems more comfortable now.
Shifts back into Barton. Oh, just a few shifts today. Actually, that feels better. I like that. And just does all the buckles back up. There we go. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Oish. Good. I think we should all get ready now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave you to finish up. See you in a bit.
Thank you.
Heads up.
Barton.
Heads up.
Neve immediately turns to you, Oish, as soon as Barton leaves and the door shuts. Do you think I could learn to do that?
It's not the same as yours.
But if there is some way, maybe I could change it.
I can teach you how to alter your form for a certain amount of time. Anything more than that, I would have to look into.
I think Mom maybe was looking into it.
Was she?
She's the one who told me about people who could change their shape.
Why did she find that important for you to know?
Maybe she thought it would prepare me for the things she wasn't telling me about.
Merlin?
She turns her face away from you.
You don't have to look at me while you answer the question, but I would like an answer.
I have beliefs.
Why have you found them a home in that particular deity?
It can be hard to explain things to you when I feel like you disapprove of them.
There's like a dawning of a realization on Oaish's face. And just a very tired, small smile. I believe you've misunderstood me. I ask because I am determining if you will disapprove of me.
Yes. I do follow Merlin. And I feel like she hears me when I talk to her.
Well, if she speaks back, she may not be too happy with it. So, as long as you don't obey any commands to kill me, I think we'll be just fine.
I don't plan on it. You know, Asar told a story about you having pissed off a goddess.
Awaish summons a mage hand and kind of lifts the clothing on their back to show a patchwork of tattoos, which Neve would probably, having a religious background from the same place that Awaish is in, would immediately recognize as deeply sacrilegious to multiple gods. The priestesses of a temple of Circir being voraciously attended to by a many-tentacled creature. The Black Rose of Merlin being stabbed through by a hand clutching the blade of a knife. Several sacrilegious figures towards several different gods. And Awaish says, I believe I intentionally made several angry, though I do not think the gods pay so much attention as that.
Those are really pretty. They're kind of terrifying, too.
Asar's doing.
How long did that take? And she like keeps asking you questions about getting the tattoos done.
We'll
as
talk about that.
you guys are prepared and you put your shirt back down. All right. Anything else that anyone is doing before we set off?
Yes, I think as I'm assuming Matthias kind of like wanders off and is like leading the charge for getting things ready. I think Kiara, if there's a quiet moment where she and Taz are alone, I think she is going to walk up to him and just, I don't know, I'm just imagining this being the, like, he turns around and she's just next to him.
If that's what it is, I think that Taz is just like trying to be friendly to Burrow and Yaru, just trying to give them some love.
Aww, cute.
How are you doing?
Fine. fine.
Well, the last time we talked, you weren't ready to talk about something. Are you still being haunted by that?
I'm just gonna kind of lean in. I talked to Barden about it.
Good. Does this mean that you're okay with who they are? Who Novel is?
I long pause there, and not so much him trying to like come up with like a. You don't get the feeling that he's like. You don't get the feeling that he's like he said one thing to Barden and is now trying to figure out like what like another thing to say to you. It's more like trying to figure out how to explain himself. Yes, I'm fine with who Novel is.
Was Novel's reveal to the group why what happened? And of course, Kara's referring to being in your brain.
That is likely, yes.
But you have dealt with everything and are fine now.
I don't think things with the novel I don't think is going to cause any more of us to be in my head again, and Barden, Novel, and I are fine. I don't.
I'm glad for that.
I don't think I'll be quite joining our previous sleeping arrangements, but
And yeah, of course. But I suppose what I'm trying to ask more is whatever was brought up by Novel. I know you're fine with Novel now, but it clearly brought something up that was your own. Is that... How are you dealing with that, whatever that may be?
I think he's just like, he's got nothing in his hands right now, and it's just kind of, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And I just, I can't talk about, I can't say it again.
No, and that's okay. You don't have to. I know, well, I don't know, but I've come to gather that part of being who you are to the Empire has required you to put things away and not deal with them, or... And I understand, it sounds like that is not just an expectation, but a requirement for survival. But you have other options here. You don't have to your options are more than just either ignoring it or dealing with it all alone. Because you're not alone here.
I think. Yeah, I think you can see it on his face. He's been like trying not to start crying, and completely failed, and it's just, I appreciate that, Kiara. And I will probably need some help. But can you just, I know to get help with this, and you need to know more, and I can't say it again. Can you can ask Novel.
Well, and you know I'm here for you whenever you are ready, whether it's you want to talk, whether it's you don't want to talk, whether you just want a hug.
I think as you say that, he like pulls himself together and goes very clearly putting on stupid flirtatious mask, and it's just like I mean, I know a few ways that I've dealt with this before. I'm sure you could help with.
Remember what I just said about compartmentalizing?
Is this maybe just
And I think Kiara's just gonna like get on her tiptoes and give you a hug. Big oaf.
Big hug.
Big hug with lots of. She's not strong, but she gives you squish.
Okay, Fulcrum Expedition. Are you ready?
It's time to fucking
duel. I'm riding on the horse.
Did I try to look up audiobooks that were about horrors in cold places last night? I failed, but I tried. I was like, I want to have dreams about this.
Fair. You should read Jack London's To Build a Fire. It's very scary.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We hook the goats up to the sled. Someone's riding a horse.
I'm on
I've
that
put
horse.
you all by your sled.
Oh my god. I gotta locate the sled.
Barden is avoiding all the animals. Like, Barden is gonna walk behind the sled.
Let me.
Where's this
Horse.
fuck-
Let
Oh,
me
there
get
it
on
is.
there.
Sled.
Why doesn't Multiverse let me ride a horse? This is broken.
You can add a horse to your inventory and then position it beneath you.
Add that horse to your inventory. Carry a horse.
Yeah. Items. Add item.
Horse. Add horse.
I need
Gosh,
a
this is
war
cute.
horse.
Add horse.
Tan
Equip
armored horse?
horse.
Is it
Armored
Pinto
horse.
tan?
I think it's brown.
Also,
Brown.
did we got the name of the horse right? Someone put it in Vo put it in the chat.
Araf.
Yes.
Araf.
Oh, I was just sitting here singing near a wrath.
No.
Wherever you.
Which, like, I don't know if
First of all,
I've
that's
mentioned
the wrong horse. How do I put
But,
this
like-
horse away?
Remove him
like-
from your inventory.
Araf in Welsh
Alright, hold on, I
means
gotta get
slow
another
or
one.
stop, which is my favorite thing.
Good.
Just
Good
like,
There,
this
there you
horse
go.
is
I
the
did it.
opposite. Fucking
Okay,
Araf.
wait.
My
You're
horse.
slow.
Centaur Wastrel.
You need to reposition because you're just slightly off the saddle.
I do not have this power.
Wait,
but Alex
wait.
does.
Don't
There
move.
you go.
Sorry,
Oops,
trying to do
sorry.
Welsh accent is hard.
Guys, stop
Oh.
moving.
Stop moving.
Okay, turn around the other way. Yes. Okay, there we go. You're good.
I'm on a horse.
God. All right.
Everybody, look at me.
I can also put Neve on a yak, which is very personal.
Yes. I love those yaks. They're
Let's,
so big.
Yakety yak.
bro. Let's
Thank
fucking
you.
get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Let's
to
get the
waste-
fuck outta
Get to
here.
the snow.
Oh wait, can we describe our waist fits?
Oh yes, please. What
I'm so
I
sorry.
would love. One of these
check.
days we will finally leave. What are you wrapping?
We killed Sloan.
We murdered
You
him.
okay?
Nothing much looks very different about Matthias. He has been like gradually getting into his gears since they got on the boat. But I think probably the most noticeable thing is like he's got his armor right. He has an extra bulky, sort of like very fuzzy coat that the ruff of it kind of like it's so big and puffy it kind of goes up most of the way around his head. He also wears like a beanie and a very thick scarf that he, as they kind of like get started, he'll pull it up over his mouth, and then he also, on his head, pulls down a pair of goggles that are totally blackened except for horizontal slits in them. These are snow goggles.
Yeah.
I remember you posting the ages ago. So good.
Oh god, I love fruit fly in here. Ah, fuck yeah, I killed it. I think he suggested those to other. I think he suggested those to everyone else as well, but he does have his, and he will pull them down.
Okay.
That's me.
What is Kiara wearing?
Well, Kiara has taken off. Well, this is something that I had to do in order for the coat to work. But Kiara has taken off the cape situation that's usually on the back of her outfit. She still has the blouse with like the draped fabric, all that going on. But Kiara has one of the warm heating charm enchanted coat that Kiara got is in this beautiful deep red that I would say probably is closest to like a brick red. There's not a lot of brown going on in it. It's still definitely in the red family, but it is a darker, deeper color. And Kiara being Kiara has moved a lot of what we've talked about, how she's sold off a lot of her more ostentatious jewelry, but what little she has put on over it. And she's not in like one of the first times you're seeing Kiara not be entirely physically comfortable, just because she doesn't have practice of wearing this many layers. At home, things are much more like gauzy, chiffony, silks, fabrics, obviously cotton, like fabrics that can breathe easier because it's usually hot. So she's just like, oh, there's suddenly more sleeve to deal with, and like, you know, you are occupied more space than you visualize. And so she's like bumping into things a little bit. Her movements are, she's not a Dexy person to start, but like there's just a little bit more awkwardness in her movement. I'm not entirely saying she's a toddler in a padded coat in the snow, but probably the closest thing to in this party.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining her walking so awkwardly. It's like when you give a greyhound booties and she's like, don't like it.
Feel right.
Or like one of those dogs with the boots in the snow for the first time.
Yes.
Love that.
Kiara takes 3 steps and then face plants, and then it's like, oh, I've got it, I'm up.
Kiara, you are bundled into the sled,
has definitely
surrounded by
happened.
blankets.
Yeah.
You were just
Yeah.
like swaddled. I mean, it's very princess. I think you've been in this position before.
Yes, but
Very
not like
princess.
quite as padded. And also, I feel like
no.
whoever convinced Kiara to get on the thing was probably just like So going back when Kiara and Maddie went for their walk, I had said Kiara was holding on to Maddie, but now we see why. Because left to your own devices, it's too goofy. So I'm pretty sure someone convinced Kiara to get on the little.
I think Barden did.
Cart.
Just like, okay, love. I think, just until you get your snow legs.
Yeah. Also, I must say that this is very much how I felt when I went to Iceland and I was around 3 people who had dealt with ice and cold, and I'm like, how do I walk on this? Penguin walk? It was very funny.
Before anyone else goes, I will also say that the Scarlet Aster, Vice, wears a black armor that's in many ways similar to Matthias's, got the order symbol, but Vice has also put on a hooded cloak. This is sort of a dark greenish blue color, I would say. Very hard to tell what color it is because there's a lot of kind of low light, but she's got the same kind of big fuzzy hood, and kind of like Matthias, she's got goggles, right? But she actually pulls out this old woolen hat with like the ear flaps that's got holes cut out for her horns. She pulls this ear flap pilot cap on and then puts the goggles down with that and then puts the hood up.
Love her so much.
And then she looks to Matthias and then kind of around to the group and she says, "Don't laugh." And she kind of like pulls her horns through the hood. There's another little flap, and she takes out what appear to be 2 sort of thimbles. They're little woolen caps, and she puts them on the tip of her antlers, on the tip of her horns.
I'm too old to be cold, bitch. It's time for comfort.
And then she looks towards Neve and passes Neve a pair.
Oh my god.
It's hard because we don't always have feeling in them. Some are more sensitive than others, but the cold can numb it. And I've seen a lot of folks have the tips snap off in the cold, so it's better to just keep them protected.
Hey there, Raid.
Thank you, Raid.
Thank you for the raid. Hello.
Hi.
We're doing a fucking fit check.
Fit check. Awaish is
cozy.
staring at Vice with an intensity that I feel like anyone but Vice would be like, this person is about to murder me, but Vice immediately understands that it's like, you have done the equivalent of saving someone's life in my eyes, and I will repay the favor.
I love
I
that.
owe a massive debt to you.
So I know this entire time Awaish has wanted to jump Vice. Bones. How is that going for Awaish right now?
If you want an insight check on what Vice thinks of you, you're welcome to give me that.
All right. Oh,
Hey.
Alex, I have a question. Do you think
Yes,
Vice
please.
would have brought up the like tips issue like in the past?
Actually, yes. I think Vice probably would have briefly mentioned that to you if you wanted to get. Your horns are a very different style than both Vice's
guys,
and
what you
Neve's.
need?
So
You're gonna have to bandage them. I think that's the way to go. You're gonna have to just bandage all the way up the branches.
Well, okay, all right, cool. I'll keep that in mind for the
Love
description.
that.
yes, but Vice might have suggested that there is a way you can do it. Like honestly, just kind of a very big hood or like scarf. You might look a little unwieldy, but she has also said that since yours are larger, they might have more blood flow to them. You probably have found your antlers to be pretty sensitive, right? We've talked about that, Azrael. So you'll be able to tell a little more if they're getting cold. But you, if you're not worried about being a little undignified, you could put like socks and then put your hood up. Anyway, but yes, wait, if you wanted an insight.
Just a 14. So like not the
14.
worst, but like kind of middling.
Yeah, you're not, you don't magically know how Vice feels exactly about you, but as someone who's fairly adept at reading body language, even having spent a lot of time around very brusque people, it does seem like Vice is very comfortable with you. So you don't know if there are any feelings, but you know, she doesn't glare at you when you look at her.
Save it for the hot tub.
They're springs and they're natural.
They're not meant for that.
Whatever you say.
Oish, what are you wearing?
So Oish is wearing the coat that they all bought back in Skyholm, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. But in Aethrai, yes. But there have been some modifications both to it and to like they have other things thrown over it, as if like the coat is the necessary base, but Oish still must be styling at all costs. And so what they actually have for this one is this this fabric that they have not worn before, that I don't think anyone has seen before, that is almost like it is purple, but it is shifting and iridescent. It doesn't like catch light in a way that is going to be like obvious and shiny. They're not going to get like disadvantage to like stealth checks due to this clothing, but it seems almost like it would be magical, and it is thrown over them in like a poncho style, as well as like billowing out from their legs as pants. And there are just little details that have been mended onto the original coat that are in that fabric as well.
Let's see, actually, with that description real fast. I think the only one who might have seen this before would be very, very briefly Tazriel or Novel. So can both of you just give me, let's call this a quick history check. And it's a fairly high DC, but 15. You're trying to beat a 15 history check for Novel and Taz.
You know what's really annoying? I got a 23. I could have had such better rolls for other things, but I know what this material is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I know why. I'll give you a sec.
Yes.
What did you
16.
get?
16. Okay. Both of you have seen something like this before in Uarnalbara. This is not necessarily from Uarnalbara, but you do know it's kind of like if you were to be, I'm trying to think of a country. Like in Ireland, there are these sweaters, right? And there's like a famous kind of Irish wool. So a lot of people will wear sweaters in a certain style, but there might be like a label to say this woolen sweater is made from like the genuine style of wool that is of this country. It seems like Oash is wearing what you would know from living in Uarnalbara very briefly is like genuine, fancy Aetolian, like hand-woven fabric that comes from I'm not sure if we ever had a name for them, but they are a species of sheep that can only be raised on the floating isles.
Are you wearing the Chanel boots? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And yes, why do you think you know this novel?
The Novel knows it because their dad, their beloved dad, knows that Novel likes collecting shiny things for their room. So there is probably a slither of this fabric in what some would call a nest back in the little cottage. It's just woven in between blankets and throws and things made from like, just like a little bit of it because it's beautiful. And like I am imagining a littler Barden, probably like, I don't know, 13 when they went to visit family, just like being like, Dad, look at that. And just being enamored, and Mountain Owning being able to get like a little bit of it because it's so fine. But they love it. They adore it. It's one of their favorite things.
Neat. Okay, that is what Oash is wearing. What is Tazriel wearing?
Also, I think like Taz is just like kind of staring at Oash a bit, seeing this material and recognizing it. It's just,
I'm gonna roll perception to see if Oash sees you staring.
I mean, probably he's not hiding it.
Okay. What?
Sorry, I haven't seen that materials it brings back memories. Sorry.
Glances back at Neve for a moment and then just says, I wouldn't have taken it, but my family insists they have a lot of pride in their own trades.
Oh.
Are your family are weavers?
And harvesters. Taz, you may go ahead. Oasia's trying to be more transparent.
Yeah.
I'm actually also going to give you a point of inspiration, Sarah, since I think this is one of the first things that Oasia shared about their family.
Yes.
The group.
Yay.
Yeah, no, so Alex, if you allow me to say this,
Please.
This is factual. First, just to talk about, Taz has pretty much exclusively been wearing like he's got like a bunch of different of his like his uniform. Yeah, his brightening uniform stuff, right? And I kind of imagine that they're like, because prestidigitation's a cantrip, it's just kind of, there's like a charm in there, just it can be cleaned, whatever, just like a little
Yeah.
But now that he's like in the waste, he and his uniforms like greens and different things and stuff, but now that he's in a waste, he's like just completely gone to like dull kind of browns and whatnot. The pant, like he likes his fitted things. The pants are still pretty are less fitted than the previous ones. Dull browns. He's got this like kind of like think poncho, but it like it's got the slit right there in the middle, which it doesn't actually unclasp, which just kind of he puts it on. He's also got this like flowing this furred kind of cloak attached to it as well, and a like big scarf that like he's planning on wrapping up like around the head, ears, and mouth, and just I'm assuming he would have gotten the goggles if Matthias mentioned hey these would be useful, so he's got those on as well. Nothing like on his head, but the antlers, like his ears and stuff are covered at this point, but the antlers, he's like, I think he might have bought like strips of like warm fabric or something, and Alex, I'll mark that off, and like spent some time wrapping it around his stuff. So he I think he does like and this would also be like a like black fabric, so it's just like all wrapped up around the whole set of antlers.
I actually want to ask Pooja, is there a particular name for a style of like a warmer coat that might be used in the Raj?
Probably. I gotta look into it because I don't come from the parts of India that are cold.
Yeah.
But we have the
Himalaya.
we have the Himalayas. There's obviously something.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would say it's probably would be called a shuba back in Abjur. This is like a kind of fur lining because there are Abjur's mostly warmer, but there are colder mountains on some of the borders that it goes like get into snowy regions between the desert Bajau and Abjur, where the peace crests up. So yeah, called a shuba is what you probably would have asked for, that like fur lining into the poncho. Cool.
Thanks, Alex.
Fantastic. And what is Varden wearing?
Varden's coat, of course, wearing the family scarf underneath, like just a flash of color. That's the only bit of color that you can see on Varden now, because they have a big white, mostly fur-lined coat. So they've basically done research before coming here. The waist is white. What better camouflage? But basically, so it's down to the ankles, full coverage. There is like a fur-lined hood, for sure, which is a little bit streaked in black, so almost like mink fur. Like it looks very flash. But basically, I think probably she would have shown Kiara at one point. It's reversible, like every other piece of their clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side is like very beautifully tailored. It looks like an indoors coat, and it's black. It's like that case of, again, just quick changes. So changing for the environment, changing for the situations. And of course, It has a ton of buckles and laces because changeable, baby. She's basically already got her scarf over her mouth, got the goggles on, and she's like, it's a bit. Never really had to wear this much, even back home. Feels weird. As someone who doesn't wear armor, it's a little bit strange. But yeah, and of course the boots, nice thick long boots. I think she's wearing all of her outfits, just layered up, just in case. That's my fit. Oh, you are muted.
There we go. You are all bundled up. You have loaded up your sled updraft, hooked up your yaks, and Oash, you are riding on Arav to the side. I think then you pay off your tab at the tavern. It does look like the Guild Star is still in port this morning, so you can kind of glance over. You're not close to the docks by any means, but you swear you can see someone up in the crow's nests looking towards the woods. Maybe even a wave from our eagle-eyed party members. And then you set off. The backwoods of Cersei are fairly tread. Does look like there is a traveler's path that you can go on. This is not paved by any means, but it's been stamped down. So at the very least, you know you're not immediately trekking into dangerous territory underfoot. This is our first day traveling within the waste. Which means
Waylaid flown, but we're finally here.
Friends. It's been 45 episodes. We did it.
We fucking did it. First of all,
here.
I had a professor in college because I was learning Russian in college, but I had a professor in college who was like from Russia, and back when it used to get actually really cold, she would like look at us all on the coldest days of the semester and be like, none of you have the right clothing for this weather. Because in Virginia, it's just like wear skinny jeans, one layer of pants only, and then like a warm coat on top. But she had the like full Russian, like from neck to toes, you are covered in one coat.
Yes.
And like, I just remember that so vividly. And then secondly, there are little things when you're hiking called cairns that are like stacks of rocks that get built. And so maybe those are things that can like mark the path. There are actually a lot of issues out in hiking areas where like people who are not like trail workers will build cairns because they think it's really cute and fun. And it's like a thing where it's like if you see one, you're supposed to knock it over. Like if you see a small one, you're supposed to knock it over because they can potentially kill people by getting them off the path.
Built for guidance.
I think that's a nice thought. I think it's less. It wouldn't be rocks necessarily, but there are snow markings. Yeah, like little sort of like little snowmen that you would be familiar with, especially more in populated areas, which are not always as common in the wastes. It's much easier to find your way by sticking closer to the towns. So you set out. We're still at a 1 on our cold scale. So you are not facing any negative effects from the actual chill, despite the cold. You are fully rationed, so you are traveling. I would like to know if you're traveling at a normal pace, at a quick pace, or at a stealthy pace.
Normal?
Let's start with normal.
Yeah.
Let's Oregon Trail this.
No reason to march quickly towards a doom. A walking pace will do.
Okay. All right. So while you are traveling, moving at a normal pace, animals can move faster by yourself than just humanoids. You do have fresh mounts at this point, so you can cover large distances. You are in a carriage of some kind, so you choose a pace as normal, which means that you are able to travel about 24 miles a day.
Woo!
Traveling at a normal pace, you cannot move stealthily in a group, meaning that if you want to avoid potential animals or encounters, you're still like rolling on encounter tables as normal, moving at a normal pace, which makes sense considering you'd only be moving about 18 miles a day and you're in one of the safer parts of Valkyrie currently. You push away from Cersei. Is anyone keeping watch and is anyone navigating?
I would highly request that somebody who I know is really good at doing it is doing it.
Awaish, I don't think can navigate super well, but they can keep watch very well.
I'm pretty good at perception. I've got +6.
Kiara will guide folk.
I do have a pretty good. I have a +3 to survival, so that's not too bad.
I also have +3 to survival.
Okay. All right. Somebody.
I also have +3 to survival. What's
okay?
up?
Someone help Sloan.
Who's got? We know Kiara's got pretty decent perception, right? At this point, who's like?
Yeah.
Who's good?
I think
good at perception.
I think Barton and I have the best perception.
They have
+5,
proficiency.
+6.
Kiara's not proficient in it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I just have a straight wisdom.
Whoever's the +6, can we get that person on perception?
Yeah,
duty?
I mean we can both roll it. I feel like it's good to have two people looking out.
Great,
Yeah.
Amazing. We'll have you two on point, and then
I like
will
the idea
help
that we've
with the animals.
got the two people who are used to snow looking out at the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
Kiara's just
Matt-
like,
yeah,
ooh,
Matt is
pretty.
concentrating on survival.
Okay.
I think since Taz is not very navigation oriented, or like he's not badly perceptive, but y'all are better. He is just on this. He's on this cart and is just staring at his notebook.
Neat.
Boy's
Hell yeah.
doing.
Somebody's got to be vibing. Somebody has
and
to chill.
Somebody's got to chill. Awaish did send a letter before leaving. That did.
All right. Okay.
So
Any details for that letter? You don't have. There's no post office. It was just a post for birds to pick them up. So you can't pay someone to award your letter. Just so you know.
It was encoded in that case. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little guidance, which is very helpful. Okay, excellent. Instead of being terrible, that is a 13 on a survival check, which I think is what we use
On a
for
13.
navigation.
Yeah, yes, it would be survival.
Okay.
I got 24.
24.
And a 21.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. We are once again using the campfire travel system by Abyssal Brews, which is a very fun little thing for setting a travel DC. You are now traveling on what would be a moderate journey. So this is going to be 5 to 9 days of travel going up the coast to reach the passage by Deep Sink to reach, I think I said it was Ferris Pass, where you will kind of hit the main actual continent of Valkyrie. Right now you're still on the Kistad archipelago. So, since you are traveling for 5 to 9 days, you are trying to reach a destination score of 4. This is kind of like 4 successes, basically, over the course of this journey.
Love it.
And your travel DC, since you are traveling on moderate terrain, it's not the most difficult yet, but the weather is tiresome since it's quite cold. Your travel DC is currently a 13. So you've beat a 13 on your survival check for that first kind of part of the navigation, and you are keeping a weather eye out on perception, which is fantastic. That means that for this first day of traveling, as you set away from Cersei, you are warm, you are fed, and you are fairly attentive as well. There's this general sense that you at least know what you are prepared for on this beginning part of your journey. You leave behind the small town of Cersei and move onward and upward slightly towards sturdier ground away from the very edge of where the ocean meets the coast of this continent. Matthias, you see familiar sights cresting ahead of you, just slopes and valleys of pine forest, some covered in snow, some bare and frozen, but a dark green for the most part. There is life here on this section of the Frostlands. More unique sights to the rest of you. There are many smokestacks that you see, just billows of smoke issuing up from different sections of the forest. It looks like there might be perhaps logging operations that are happening here, or maybe harvesting of some kind, or just scattered cabins that are set throughout the forest that you are now traveling through on this trader's trail. But the smoke, where it is sometimes gray, it grows much thicker and darker in places over the first maybe 4 or 5 hours of your journey. You pass by one of these darker smokestacks, and you see for the first time a thick divot in the snow where the ground, the frozen ground, this dark earth is visible, and issuing out of this just hole in the ground is this thick, dark pillar of smoke. As you pass by, it looks like there are a number of people who are gathered around this smoke pit. It looks like there's some kind of harvesting operation that's happening here as well. A smaller, maybe dragonborn of some kind has a thick mask, almost a gas mask that's set over their face, just like leathers, straps, these thick balloons of leather that are puffing in and out as they breathe, completely covered in a dark cloak. So you only say dragonborn because you can see like the mark of a tail and this mask over a long snout. And they are descending by rope down into one of these smoke pits for some purpose or other. You see lumps of black material that are set to the side next to this pit as you travel onward. With that high perception check, at a few different points you hear those baying sounds again. Maybe some kind of coyote or some kind of animal, but it does seem like there are packs of something that are moving through this wood as you travel. But you conclude your first day of travel through Valkyrie without being attacked by anything, and are able to camp down for the night.
Hell yes.
Like 4 hours in, Owish does just immediately suddenly look so shitty. But doesn't let anyone comment on it. Because like Snake Eyes anyone who's like, what? I'm like, I'll kill you. Yeah.
You set up your tents for the first evening. Are able to heat up rations. If anyone would like to have a brief conversation, they're welcome to do so, but I'm also happy to push us through another day or two.
I'm good. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
You can always say you. Yes.
I was just gonna say, I think the only thing is Barden, like, I'm guessing Barden and Kiara are sharing. Like, most likely. I think the only thing is Barden just asked, like, very quietly, just like, is it okay if I, shift down for the night? I rarely get the chance to sleep like Novel.
No, of course not. Whatever is
Would that be okay?
comfortable for you. Yes.
I have a
Thank you.
3-person enchanted tent.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say we might have to share
whoever's
with Maddie.
There's only one tent.
because
I know
We
Taz
have
has
2
one.
tents.
and
tent.
Taz has
Wait.
one boy tent.
It should say in the description because each of us got a different one, I think. But I definitely have a 3-person tent.
And yeah,
Clown
Taz got
car.
a 1-person tent that has that
A warming.
got the enchantment on it as well.
Yes.
Oh,
fantastic.
So actually,
So I'm assuming Sig and Neve would be in one of the tents, and then Clown Car.
Clown car.
Oh man, if it is Clown Car, I think Barden would just actually not do that.
Oh no!
If
But you could
Vice
do it in front of
will-
Maddie.
I think
Vice has her own accommodations.
Vice has got her own. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Vice could sleep in the tent with Neve and I. It's fine.
If things get desperate. But Vice seems...
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. What Alex said is that it'll be a desperate day in the wastes when I'm sharing it with you.
Those happen all the time.
Yeah, this day. Every day is this, but okay. All right, then your first evening passes. I'm
We do
assuming you guys
watches.
are keeping watch. Okay. Uh, since I'm skimming through here, and this is related to your destination score, you've already used perception and survival. Is there any way that any of you is keeping a watch that is unique in particular? Anyone who maybe is looking for a really good, safe place in the forest, like nature, anything like that?
Go ahead, VJ.
I think something, Alex, tell me if it's okay. I think something that Taz might do if he's taking watch is, I kind of imagine that, like, he doesn't have the ability to, like, touch, like, actually, like, detect thoughts or anything. He can kind of, like, feel, like, okay, there's a mind over here, and, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think he might be, like, instead of trying to be, like, super perceptive wise, just kind of probing out as far as he can. Like, is there...
Interesting. Okay,
If-
I will
if I
definitely
can
allow
pull
you to
something
do
from
that.
it.
Yeah, I think this works well because it's not a skill that you would use otherwise necessarily. So it means that like you do have a lower DC because you're not repeating another survival or another perception check, which makes the DC higher. But you just need to give me a flat intelligence check against a 13.
Give me a little intelligence.
Okay, you know what? I am not a dumb man. I am
No,
decent
sir.
boy. And I've been rolling pretty well today. And I have a DM inspiration if it goes bad. It went bad. I'm re-rolling.
Fuck.
Okay.
Good.
It went bad.
Okay. That's a 17, Alex. Let me mark
A
up
17. Excellent. Okay. That is another success towards your travel DC.
Oh, Hey there, another raid.
Thank you for the
hello.
raid.
Hey
We're
there, guys.
traveling.
Thank you.
Hello.
We are traveling.
We're on the road.
On the road again.
Your watch passes by, then very uneventful. Taz, you, I think, are able just to kind of guide the cart. Maybe you stop at one point, and then you're just kind of, I don't know, like probing out, listening. You are able to like look around and make mind connections. And there's a general sense that there's a lot of animal activity in this vicinity, maybe even with the Arkrams that you've been traveling with, since you have just spent a little time with them, you can tell that they are kind of edgy. And so you're able to move on to a bit of a quieter spot and pull off into the woods. I'm also going to make the assumption, considering both Matthias and Vice have traveled here before, that you're covering your tracks when you pull off for the night, like rushing over the snow.
Yeah, and we're doing the short rest thing where we don't get our spell slots back, right?
It's true.
See, I have the spell.
But I believe you just did, you just got a long rest
we did.
previously.
I know, I just don't know when the next time... I don't get my shit back on a short rest. So I'm...
Wow, must suck to be you.
Fuck off! Shut up, Warlock. Nobody asked you.
It's a shame you don't have magic coming from like an item or something.
Okay, whatever.
Kiara will like prestidigitation, like to try to like
There we go. Nice little cantrip action.
clean up the snow,
That'll help.
you know, as much as that will help.
Yeah. Okay. So then that night passes quietly without any kind of encounter. Oh, yes.
I will say, Awaish, this is the first night in a couple of nights that they are trancing instead of sleeping. So with that extra amount of hours in like the morning hours, they will have taken Darren and gone on a little magical night ride to kind of scout out the trail ahead a bit.
Wait,
with their own eyes.
What?
Because they can see through Darren.
Oh my god, I thought you were leaving the camp alone.
Yeah, I'm getting out of there. Get fucked. Bye. No. They're just scouting ahead a bit with
Holy shit, I rolled really well.
with Darren, which I think I have to look and see how much that goes. I know that it's 300 feet normally. Hang on. Hold on. Oh god. Okay, 100 feet can see with the familiar's eyes and hear what it hears with my special senses. However, since I can manifest the mind,
We can go a little further.
it goes to 300 feet. Yes. So
The main thing that matters is if you're sending Darren out of your vision. In one case, you use his perception, in the other, you use yours.
I'm using mine, so I'm just kind of sending him up into the air to get like a look around,
Okay.
and maybe a little bit further out. A look.
You can also give me a perception check.
While that's happening, I think that Taz, like the night before, like the last night, he got drunk and went to sleep, but is not actually, is not sleeping. It's just kind of, yeah, it's not sleeping.
Not sleeping.
Aw.
Okay.
So you'll join me. Nice. 15.
Amazing.
15. All right. In the immediate surrounding area, as far as you can tell, this is, although you are in woods, it seems like these woods have been curated. As in, they're not thick or overgrown, and you can see through them fairly decently. Like, you are kind of in almost a valley part where the woods get thicker, kind of up on some hills to your left, and then smaller and sparser to your right, down kind of towards the coast itself. You don't see any large towns or any other campsites in your vicinity.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oasis sitting next to you, Taz, but their eyes are just like blanked out white. They look fucking possessed. Spooky.
I will say, while that is happening inside the clown quartet, as we were discussing the side chat, it's basically a hop because it's insulated. Plus, you have Kiara body heat, and it's just soft Kiara between 20 strength brick houses. Because I think Barden is in Barden form. But yeah, we're just in like regular pajamas. We don't have to wear all of our bulky clothing because.
Nice.
Well, heating
Very warm.
enchantment plus it's Kara and back muscles on both sides. It's like the best.
I
thing
love it.
ever.
I mean, you're saying that as if Barden is turned away from you.
I
You
know.
are snuggled, my friend.
Aw.
Alex, I got
Wait.
a 18, 19,
does that
20,
mean
21,
for
22,
Matt?
23, 24. I got a 24 on my morning saving throw.
Oh,
Fantastic.
So
You
I'm
are
good.
blessed in the waist. What the fuck?
You are good. All right, and
Cute.
same thing in the morning. Wait, are you still ticking down on your morning save?
There we go. Ticking down. We're at a 3.
Okay. Then you continue as the sun rises blearily. Hard to tell where the sun's rising from. There's just kind of like that thin light where, it's almost a little bit cloudy overhead, like clouds are gathering, but you don't see the actual defined edges of clouds. On the 17th day of Neth,
Yeah. 17th.
you continue on your journey, repack
Yes.
up your sled, and begin to pull ahead once again through the woods, continuing on the archipelago.
Another raid.
Hello, my
Oh,
goodness.
God.
Hi.
Everybody.
Girls Run These Worlds.
Hello.
We're doing a
How many
travel episode.
It's travel time.
We're
Always
in the
good to
waste.
see you girls run these worlds.
Hello.
We're traveling and cuddling.
Got to include that.
Gotta be cozy.
Can we
Okay.
can we
Yes.
get like the same people on the same things as before, unless folks want to switch?
It'll raise
Yeah, I'm
it'll
happy to.
raise the DC if you do it. You can do it, but it's more
Oh.
like the monotony of doing the same thing through the same day in the same way. The wastes are dangerous. You have to keep on your toes.
Oh, interesting. You know
mean,
what? I can
Noble
do a little
is-
lookout action today. I feel like
Kara will help you.
great.
Noel can.
okay.
Sorry, Barden can do survival.
All right.
Kiara, why don't you roll separately from me? Unless
Okay.
you're planning on guiding.
You know what? I'll pop you a guidance. No, I can't do that and look. I'm just gonna look.
Okay, Matthias is going to
But I can
Look-
guide myself and look, right?
and listen.
Yes.
And
That was
listen,
cocked?
like with keen senses.
That's a
because you're old.
fucking natural 20.
Oh, my
my
god,
God.
you are doing so good today. So
Excellent.
proud of you.
And with
Sloan, could you roll me a d20 and tell me the number on it?
Sure.
okay. So just for the record, that was a 26.
Oh my god.
Same.
4.
A 4. Okay. due to your looking out as effectively as you are doing so, each member of the party is going to add 5 feet to their movement speed for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
yes.
this, let me just write that down. So if you do any encounters today, you add 5 feet to your movement speed, because Matthias has guided you into an area where the snow is very thickly packed and it's very easy to move on. There's almost like that little extra kind of skid when you walk, like you're walking on a treadmill.
That's so nice.
Who's doing navigation?
I've got +3.
Yeah, I think Barden is. I will help using. I can't use the compass I have. It points to land masses.
I will say, Kiara also did not roll terribly because Kiara got it's moot, but she doesn't have her head in the snow. She got a 19 earlier, so we're okay.
Hell yes.
Or maybe Matthias is pointing stuff out to Kiara and like teaching Kiara what to look out for.
Oh
in the
yeah,
waves.
Absolutely. Hell
We were so
yes.
close to a nat 1. We got a 22.
Yeah. the good type
It's
of
just
last
like-
second roll.
It's just
Alright.
close enough to. It's still fairly close-ish to Skyhome. Like used to how the snow packs down, even though it's salt. Back home it's salt, and here it's not.
Cool.
I think there's enough similarity of it to catch Barden's eye. But she misses the birches.
With that, you are working very well as a team together, finding that you've fallen into a rhythm over your time traveling on the ocean, that you are looking in one direction and then to the other side, switching. Matthias, you have a little sketched out map as well, so you're able to once again direct your party very efficiently through the wastes. As you are
Actually, I have
traveling, yes,
Sorry,
please.
I do have a specific request. I think like halfway through the day, Matthias will kind of like realize something and then turn to Kiara and say, "Do you remember the ships that came in after us? The ones that were familiar? I haven't really been looking over my shoulder. Do you think that you could just watch behind us?" Oh, I can't hear you.
Here, hello.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
There you
Okay.
are.
Of course.
And basically just ask Kiara to kind of like keep a lookout behind us as well to
Yeah.
see if anybody's like following or anything like that. Any
Good
incoming
note.
Fire Knights, yes.
Yeah.
Very good note.
Petra riding
you
over
do
the ocean.
Kiara
With
is
that-
like,
With that tip off that you received, Matthias, on the natural 20 from talking to the person who sold you your sled, you are even more aware that if you are being pursued, it's likely by someone who would be coming after you, because he had said that not a lot of travelers were setting off now because of storms coming. So behind you, you haven't seen anyone, but it does make you aware that it would likely be something to watch out for if you hear someone coming.
Mhm.
All right. That is the number of successes needed to meet your destination score.
Yes.
Which means that I'm going to have us do one roll for an encounter over the course of these 5 days of travel. Would someone like to roll a d20 for me?
Ooh.
I'll do it with this big old chonker I got.
Big chunker.
Okay.
Wow, day 2. Doing pretty okay. We're doing pretty alright. We're
Don't
not
fucking
dead.
jinx us. Fucking knock wood, baby.
Can I use inspiration for this roll?
You don't know what it's gonna do!
You don't know what it's going to do.
Oh, okay. I got a 1.
Maybe that means like one little rabbit.
There's one creature.
One guy.
There's one
Just
creature.
one guy.
Okay. Well, expedition party. Traveling on the second day, on the 17th of Neth, you also see in the distance now, maybe at some point you send Darren up, or you can just recognize it through the trees, something massive looming as you crest over one section of a hill. At first, it's a terrifying sight. Massive jaws, dark eyes, black scales. But as you keep moving, it doesn't move. It just stays there, looming in the distance. And then you recognize this is some kind of carving. A gigantic carving of a serpent's head that is looming up far above the trees. You think it's at least 100 feet in height. This massive skull of a creature that has been carved exquisitely to look alive. It almost seems like the eyes are following you as you travel, resting over down into another section of the valley, traveling sort of along the coast here. Again, still passing by people who are harvesting, logging. You even maybe see one caravan coming the other direction at one point, traveling back towards from where you came. Waved to by a few bundled up folks, hard to see their faces. You then see another coil, a massive shape, this sea in the distance of black stone. Magnificent. And I think that's where we will end our session for today. I have our encounter rolled up for next time. And right before we leave, actually, if you want to show everyone, I'm going to travel all of us to the next map I have prepared.
Yay! Map.
Hold
on, this one's better.
Map. I just recognized what Sarah was singing.
This? There is a strange creature over here.
Wait, where's the creature?
Bone.
Oh, it's just a little skull.
A little bone guy.
A little bone skull. Wow, I wonder what that could be.
Nothing.
Wonder what that is.
Look at this arch that's definitely not a snake coil.
A horse.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Farms!
Goodbye, horse.
Getting yeeted away from me.
Novel is there in their heart. Barton is there in the heart.
Yes, good.
Yes, they are there. We will see
Oh wait,
that
she's riding
for
the
next
horse.
Hell yeah.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 45 of Strange Hunters. And we will
Stick
not
around,
be here
right?
next week. We will be here, I think we're taking 2 weeks off, right?
2 weeks?
We have to talk about that.
We have to talk about it. We'll talk about it off stream. We will not be here next week, but you might see some other fun content coming from us in the future as we figure out a bit of a schedule. Everyone say congratulations to Pooja, because
Congratulations, Pooja.
Congratulations,
her amazing
Pooja.
partner is moving and they're going to finally be together, which we love.
Woo!
Big shout out, as always, to One More Multiverse for these delightful maps. I love the snowy ambiance. I'm so excited. I've been planning all of my fun snow encounter maps. To Soundtail for our music, as always, for bringing us those spooky, spooky sounds. And keep an eye out on our socials on Twitter at Total Party Kiss, Instagram at Total Party Kiss, and of course our YouTube, where you can find all of our past VODs and episodes. Liking, subscribing, following us, all of that. It really helps us out because we do this for fun and we love sharing with our community. I think that's all for today, unless anyone has another announcement.
Nope. I don't have anything.
No,
But stick around. We're gonna send a raid over to a friend's way.
Yes, definitely.
If someone could tell me what that friend is, that'd be great.
I got it.
Oh, Sarah's on it.
I got it. Well, we'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Like a giant snake.
So, here we go.
When's the next tragedy?
Oh, I believe the next tragedy is tomorrow night. See if that works.
Tomorrow night.
And yes, tomorrow night here at, I think it's 8 p.m. EST, maybe 8:30 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. EST, the amazing Greek mythology D&D themed campaign with our GM Serenity is back. So check that out.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.